Welcome back to my studio. I'm Yvette Mecca. Let's go. Greetings, beautiful people. If you know me, then you know I am not political, but I will bring awareness where it's needed. So in this video, I'm actually going to be sharing with you a couple of articles that I came across in regards to Juneteenth. Freedom's Eve on January 1st, 1863, marked the first watch night services where African Americans gathered in anticipation. The Emancipation Proclamation declared all enslaved people in Confederate states legally free at midnight. Implementation of the Emancipation Proclamation, tongue twister there, was limited in areas still under Confederate control, delaying freedom for many, particularly in Texas. Freedom for enslaved people in Texas was officially announced on June 19, 1865, by Union troops in Galveston Bay, leading to the celebration of Juneteenth. Juneteenth is recognized as the nation's second Independence Day, celebrated primarily within the African American community, but largely unknown to many Americans. Freedom's Eve and watch night services on Freedom's Eve, or the eve of January 1st, 1863, the first watch night services took place. On that night, enslaved and free Americans gathered in churches and private homes all across the country, awaiting news that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect. At the stroke of midnight, prayers were answered as all enslaved people in Confederate states were declared legally free. Union soldiers, many of whom were Black, marched on plantations and across cities in the South, reading small copies of the Emancipation Proclamation, spreading the news of freedom in Confederate states. Only through the 13th Amendment did the emancipation end slavery throughout the United States. Understanding the significance of June 19, 1865. But not everyone in Confederate territory would immediately be free. Even though the Emancipation Proclamation was made effective in 1863, it could not be implemented in places still under Confederate control. As a result, in the westernmost Confederate states of Texas, enslaved people would not be free until much later. Freedom finally came on June 19, 1865, when some 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas. The Army announced that the more than 250,000 enslaved Black people in the state were free by executive decree. This day came to be known as Juneteenth. Many of you may or may not know that I am indeed a Washingtonian. I serve my country overseas, but at the end of the day, I am a Washingtonian. Let me touch on what I discovered. The Freedmen's Bureau Search Portal. It's a portal that provides unprecedented opportunities for family historians and genealogists to research for their ancestors and for scholars to research a variety of topics related to slavery and Reconstruction in the Freedmen's Bureau's records. I thought that's just phenomenal. It gives you an opportunity to take a step back in time and, figure out who's who, what's what, and where do you go from here. Now, Frederick Douglass once famously asked, "What to a slave is the 4th of July?" Now, if you have been following me, you already know. I was born on the 4th of July, and it just so happens that I was born bicentennial year. To honor the anniversary of the freedom granted to those enslaved African Americans, we've pondered a similar question. What is the significance of Juneteenth to the Black community? It has a multiplicity of meanings to people of African descent in the U.S. Juneteenth is also a site for political knowledge. It's a time to recognize that you need to be registered to vote. You need to know what's going on in your city, your own city. You need to take control of your civic duty. Again, Juneteenth is not a fixed holiday as the 4th of July is. It is a neutral holiday where you should show up. Juneteenth requires you to be present in the moment and very specific about why you are showing up to celebrate. It's important for everyone to remember where it came from, but also how it has developed in other parts of America and outside of the United States. But before I go, I'm going to leave you with 20 facts about Juneteenth. You can find these at pollinate.com, and I will leave all the information in my description. All right, so let's get into that real quick. 50 facts about Juneteenth. Juneteenth gets its name from a blend of June and 19th. Fact number 2. It marks the date in 1865 when the Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas to announce the end of slavery. Number 3, General Order Number 3 declared all slaves are free in Texas. 4, this announcement came more than 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation had been issued. 5, Juneteenth is considered the longest running African American holiday in the U.S. 6, the first Juneteenth celebration took place in Texas on June 19, 1866. 7, early celebrations included church services, public readings, singing, and feast. 8, red foods and drinks like red velvet cake and strawberry soda are traditionally in Juneteenth meals, symbolizing resilience and bloodshed. Juneteenth was not recognized as a federal holiday until 2021. Number 9. 10. President Joe Biden signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act into law on June 17, 2021. 11. Texas was the first U.S. state to officially recognize Juneteenth as a state holiday in 1980. 12. Juneteenth is now recognized as a public holiday in all 50 states and Washington, D.C. Go figure, still trying to get it a state. 13. Juneteenth has been celebrated under many names, including Emancipation Day and Liberation Day. 14. The color of red in Juneteenth celebrates all traces back to West African traditions. 15. Many African American communities use Juneteenth to honor Black veterans and community leaders. 16. In some regions, Juneteenth was celebrated with parades and basketball games as early as the 1900s. 17. Formerly enslaved people pooled money to purchase land specifically for Juneteenth celebration, such as Emancipation Park. 18. Music has always been a key part of Juneteenth. Spirituals, blues, and gospel music are often featured. 19. Juneteenth celebrations often include readings of the Emancipation Proclamation. 20. Modern Juneteenth events include art exhibitions, film screenings, and educational panels. And there you have it, 20 facts. There are a total of 50 facts. Now go ahead on over there and grab them so that you have this information in your back pocket. Peace. Enjoying my content? Well, come join our creative tribe. Subscribe, like, and share. I don't mind at all. Thank you.